Hey Cancer, how you doing? We're going to drop into your energy and see what message wants to come through for you as we move through this lunar cycle that leads us up to that blue moon in Sagittarius coming in to close out the month of May. So we're just going to see, what are you integrating right now, dealing with right now? What do you need to be aware of? Whatever wants to come through. And these are going to be more brief kind of reads just to tap into the energy so you can have a personal message and a little heads up about what might be coming your way as we edge up to that full moon. So let's see what we got here. I am working with my mixed deck of both shadow influences and stuff that's been transformed. So you're going to get a little bit of a mixed bag energy coming in here, letting you know what still needs to be worked on a bit or what might be hidden from you, as well as what's going along swimmingly here. Okay, so let's check it out and see what's coming in for you, Cancer. All right. Bottom of the deck. Well, we have somebody who's just not able to get an accurate view of the situation. They're not willing to change their perspective at all. They're not willing to let something go. Pisces energy with the Hangman in reverse. Somebody here is just not giving it a rest, whatever this is. Okay, let's check it out. Ooh, okay. You got some power back in your hands, do you? I like this. This is what's crossing that energy. It looks like you got some power back in your hands, Cancer, and somebody has a big problem with this. All right. Whoever this is was not anticipating that you would end up in such a strong position. And I do feel like there's a strong action you're going to take here that is really transforming your situation, but somebody has a big problem with it. Maybe they thought it was a power that they were going to be holding, and then you switched it up and reversed it on them like a game of Uno. But somebody here is just not able to see a situation accurately. They won't let something go. I think this person wants some opportunity that's being put in your hands, and this is the problem. So it's almost like they're creating a little bit of a combative situation, maybe contesting that you have this opportunity, that you have this power in your hands, maybe trying to convince others that this is misplaced. I don't know what this is, but somebody needs to let it go, give it a rest. They won't. With that Piscean energy coming in, yeah, something's really out of balance here, okay? It's really out of balance. I see that you got this power in your hands and you're ready to use it, and you're entrusted with it because you're going to be able to hold that in a very balanced way. Whereas somebody else here is wanting control. Now, this could be a situation where it was either you or them, right? And somebody had to make a choice. And I feel like whatever this is, you're the one who got chosen here. And this other individual has a big problem with it, okay? They don't get why you were the one who ended up with this opportunity. Okay. Oh boy, what is this? There's some interesting energy that's coming out already. I'm just 2 reads in, and already there's a theme really coming out this lunar cycle. But it makes sense. It makes sense with some of the dynamics that were coming in with this particular new moon that kicked this off. This is interesting. So I feel like with the High Priestess in reverse, this is an energy that's been transformed. So to me, this looks like you did a lot of deep diving here. You may be cloaking your energy right now a bit. I think you've done a lot of deep healing work. I don't know why this is coming through, but I'm sure it will make sense to you. Maybe one of the reasons why you were chosen is because you know when to keep your mouth shut. Like, you know how to keep a secret. You know when certain matters are confidential and to keep mum about them. And maybe this other person, you know, they're a little too mouthy. And this may have been what put you in the strong position here, because you know how to keep counsel, you know. I also feel like you have expertise in a certain area. You have a certain level of understanding that's come through doing a real deep dive. You've done a lot of deep healing work. You may know how to really work with some challenging situations and to provide good counsel that's come as a direct result of your own healing process, experiences you've been through. So I don't know if maybe you were supporting somebody and you ended up being the one that was trusted because you were able to keep things confidential, where I feel like this other person is mouthy or something. That's how it's coming through. Even though this high priestess is in reverse, this is your energy. Cancerian energy. It can be all the water signs, but what I see here is that this energy is transformed. So that gives me the impression of just really understanding when certain things are meant to be, you know, intimate, when certain things are meant to be kept secret, when you're not supposed to talk about things. And somebody here may have really thrown things out of balance by blabbing. I don't know why it's coming in like that, but it is blabbing, you know, getting the knowledge of something that was supposed to be kept confidential, and then instead of keeping their word, they like blabbed about it. And so I think this person fell out of favor, and yet they are still unable to see the forest for the trees. But I feel like you know when certain things need to be kept hush-hush, okay? And this may have something to do around a deeply personal healing process. I don't know. Somebody could have been going through something really heavy and they confided in you. They may have confided in this other at one point too. And I don't know. It looks like somebody has been kind of left out of the loop in a situation. You may have been chosen. You may have been chosen as the confidant or the one that can be trusted. And this is in some way, shape, or form put you in a more powerful position. Okay. Let's see. Give me more details about this really interesting energy. So I feel like you did some deep healing work here. It may even be because you moved out of a dynamic where somebody wanted you to kind of jockey for position or be in a competitive situation. And you said, you know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and pull out of that. And instead of getting in this embattled place, I'm going to just deep dive. I'm going to integrate my shadowy stuff. I'm going to heal all the places in me that at one time maybe would have allowed myself to be put in a competitive situation. And instead, I'm not going to do that. You trusted your intuition. Something told you to pull back from a situation. And I think that really put you in your own personal power. But I feel because of that, you're finding some kind of favor here, like you're being chosen for something. And I don't know why I got this, but this could even be like somebody is spiritually competitive with you. Like they think they know more than you, or they're more evolved, or they're more intuitive, or they're more powerful than you in some way on a spiritual level, like that they're higher ranking or something like that. And I don't know. I just keep getting this person can't see the forest for the trees. I don't know what that's about, but that's an interesting message. I think you refuse to compete. And because you refuse to compete, it really made you stand out. The power that you hold became self-evident. It's not something that you had to flex on. You know, sometimes that ability to just be quiet, to not have to be mouthy, to not have to put other people down or prove your point. Sometimes that is the biggest flex. And that's kind of how this energy is coming through. I think you've just really been experiencing a lot of deep integration. I do feel like there was something about this situation that did bring up some shadowy stuff for you. But I think that it caused you to want to really understand what that was stemming from. And so instead of being reactive and getting in a combative situation, getting in a tit for tat, you instead chose to go really deep and heal. And now you're in a really strong position. And I feel like you're getting some opportunity as a result. An opportunity that's passing this other person by, and they are not taking it well. This person's very competitive. Okay, and I like this because all this transformed energy is coming out on your side. Yeah, I like this. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, transformed. I'm not going to wait around someplace dealing with all this sneaky shizer where really what happens is both of us get left out in the cold. Like nobody really wins in this kind of a dynamic. I'm not dealing with shady shit where nothing is up front and there's all kinds of games being played here. You know, you recognize that there was no success heading in that direction. And so you pulled out. And this is exactly why you're experiencing this transformation. I think you also avoided some kind of really brutal ending. I think if you would have stayed in this dynamic, it would have just been repeated heartache, lots of blockages, so much betrayal. But you knew somebody was moving really shady. I mean, we got a Knight of Wands in reverse. This is like somebody who's beyond impetuous. And you may have dealt with this character multiple times, but I feel like you said this is where it ends because this totals 13 death. But ironically, I feel like what's happening now is this has made you very appealing. It's made you very appealing. 13 on the clock. So I do feel there's like maybe this Casanova type, you know, somebody who is now very attracted to you stepping into your power that might try to come around and test the waters, see if they can loop you back in. I do think this person is still dealing with the other, though, that is mouthing off. This person may kind of triangulate. They may play games like that. Okay? I just see that you didn't suffer some brutal ending because you called it quits. I like it. It's like you pulled your energy out of the situation and you chose to trust your intuition and focus on healing yourself. And as a direct result of that, something's turning around for you. But I do think that this character that you walked away from, they're going to try to worm their way back in. They're going to see if they can turn it around, okay? This person, you know, I don't know. It feels like they like this, you know? They like to get two people sort of vying for their attention, and you're just like, have it. I don't need it, you know? And you're holding the power now, which is why, like, this opportunity is trying to come your way. But do you want it? I don't know. Let's see. Let's do a cut of the deck. We've got shadow energy coming out here. You think this person's really controlling. Like, you think this person's on a total ego trip here. This is like Emperor operating out the shadow. Like, I feel like you're not interested in this. At one point, you would have been in the crossroads about this. You would have been very confused about what to do. It would have been difficult for you to make up your mind. I think you went through many, many cycles with this character. It looks like it was some kind of romantic connection. At the very least, a flirtation, okay? I'm picking that up. But this person was really, really controlling. Very controlling. And it looks like they like to triangulate. And you just said, nope, I'm not down for that. I'm pulling out. So I don't see that you're really going to be receptive to this. All right? But be aware. This may be coming down the pike. I'm going to get you Goddess Guidance cards just to kind of cap it off and give you a little focal point. What you need to be aware of as you edge on up to that full moon. Yeah, I think that's what this is. That's what this is. You know, somebody may be getting really riled up because they know this Casanova, this character, or this temptress, okay, if this is a feminine heading toward a masculine, they like to do this, you know. They like to pit people against each other. It's good for their ego, but I think this person's kind of lost some of their game, you know what I mean? It's like you're tired of this. You're ready to get to the other side of this. And I think you've really just come into your power. So it's not even something that appeals to you anymore. But let's see what the Goddess has to say about it. Yeah, I love it. Look at you. You've transformed. You already got your wings. So something is really shifting in your life. There's huge changes coming in for you in this cycle. I got your star is coming into view. And all of these changes are going to bring about a lot of big blessings for you. So this is just underway. Your creative energy is also at an all-time high. All right. So don't let these characters muck it up for you. I do think that the other that was involved in this situation kind of got kicked to the side because they're too mouthy. Like they don't know how to keep their mouth shut. They don't know how to keep matters private. And now this Knight of Wands energy is sort of kicking themselves like, what did I do? I need to go talk to Cancer and see if I can breathe some life into this. But, you know, I think that you have unconditional love for this character. I do. I think that you have a soft spot for this person, you know, but you also love yourself. You know, you've really gotten to a place in yourself where, you know that sometimes the loving thing to do is to put down boundary lines and say, hey, you know, I'm not going to engage in this anymore. And it's not coming from a hostile place. It's just you understand that it's time for you to experience something that can really meet you where you're at, rather than you trying to accommodate another who just can't seem to get it together. I do think this character is gonna try, all right? And I do feel like the love is there. You know, it's not like you stop loving this individual. I think no matter what the situation, even if they chose another, you still have love for this person. You love this person unconditionally. So it's not about that for you. It's not about competition. I mean, we do see true love here after that. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's possible. Maybe with some time, some patience, some understanding, there may be a way through. We do have true love. I mean, I do feel like whatever's going on here, okay, regardless of whether you accept this person's offer or not, when they come back around and want to revive something, I do feel like you will at least entertain the communication, because I feel there's something that could be mutually healing for both of you. But it is possible that that's coming through for you to clear because you're about to really step into true love. And it looks like whatever is happening here, there's a big transformation happening in your life. And things are coming together in such a way that what your heart has really wanted, the kind of connection you've really wanted, is about to line up for you. Looks like the universe is about to deliver a great love to you. So, ooh, a little summer romance might be starting to kind of simmer here. I think it takes time for it to develop, but there might be inklings that something's turning around. Yeah, and right now, I think you're just really in this phase of purification. You know, it's important for you to pour into yourself, to have your own sense of peace. Like, you really recognize how valuable your peace is. And you've definitely been through a big transformation here. And I think you're going to continue along these lines. I think you're going to stay in your independent energy for a little bit, not be so quick to jump into something. And I think that could be really wise. I feel like this is something that might gain a little bit more traction as far as you merging with another sometime around the summertime, right? But right now you're just really trying to keep your thoughts clear. You're really also tending to your body. You might be doing a lot of physical healing. You might be doing some kind of cleanse right now too. And I love it. See, compassion. You're in a really beautiful space right now, so keep it up. I feel like your heart is open. You're not being judgmental. I think you're healing. I think you understand that others are healing too. And I think this is a real beautiful energy. You're in the process of releasing judgments about others, judgments around yourself and your past actions. And you're really trying to stay centered in love in this situation, and the highest form of love, which is compassion. And just remember, you know, your compassion is incomplete if it doesn't include you. So I think that's what's really changing in this dynamic is you're not going to leave yourself out of the loop anymore. You're going to make sure that you have compassion for yourself and your experience and what you've been through too. And I think that's beautiful, Cancer. So I love seeing this for you. It looks like you've gone through quite a profound healing, beautiful transformation. You're back in your power. You're feeling clear, clear-headed. Your body, your health, everything is starting to turn around. And it looks like you're getting ready, you know. I feel like in the summertime to merge with another who's able to really meet you there. All right. Maybe some healing work with a little character here, though, that's been a bit challenging. And I don't know, you know. I mean, they are coming out. I mean, they came out in reverse. So I feel like maybe they're just starting to do their deep dive and recognize they have some healing to do, okay? Maybe you inspired them. Maybe that's why they're coming towards you and they trust you, because they see the way you transform and they see the way it's empowered you, okay? So that's really cool, okay? You might be supporting this person in that process, understanding that it's essential to hold space for this too, because it's also part of your story. Might be a real beautiful moment of closure, but it's possible there could be a continuation there. All I know is that on the other side of whatever you're working out with this individual, there's the real deal coming in for you. And I love the space you're holding. Just the space of compassion and allowing and not trying to control the flow. Unlike another here that's in the mix that's being a little bit of a complication, okay? But keep holding this energy, because it looks like some beautiful opportunities coming your way as a result. All right. Godspeed.